Today I am going to be talking about the number of steps involved in writing a risk assessment report. Risk assessment reports are an important part of any organization's health and safety program. They help to identify and assess the risk that employees face, and they can help to prevent accidents and injuries. So how many steps are involved in writing a risk assessment report? There are generally 5 steps involved, but the specific steps may vary depending on the organization and the type of hazard being assessed. Step number 1. Identify the hazards. The first step is to identify the hazards in the organization. This can be done by conducting a hazard identification survey. A hazard identification survey is a systematic process of identifying potential hazards in the workplace. It can be conducted by walking around the workplace and looking for potential hazards, or by using a checklist. Step number 2. Assess the risk. Once the hazards have been identified, the next step is to assess the risk associated with those hazards. This can be done by using a risk assessment matrix. A risk assessment matrix is a tool that helps to quantify the risks. It assigns a risk level to each hazard based on the likelihood of the hazard occurring and the severity of the consequences if it does occur. Step number 3. Determine the control measures. The third step is to determine the control measures that will be used to reduce the risk. This could involve implementing new procedures, providing training, or using personal protective equipment (PPE). The control measures should be appropriate for the risk and should be effective in reducing the risk to an acceptable level. Step number 4. Record the findings. The fourth step is to record the findings of the risk assessment. This should include a list of hazards, the risk associated with those hazards, the control measures that will be used, and the person responsible for implementing those measures. The risk assessment report should be written in a clear and concise way, and it should be easy to understand for both employees and management. Step number 5. Review and update the report. The final step is to review and update the risk assessment report regularly. This is important to ensure that the report is up to date and that the control measures are still effective. The risk assessment report should be reviewed at least annually, or more often if there are changes to the workplace or the hazard. Conclusion. So those are the 5 steps involved in writing a risk assessment report. I hope this helped you understanding the importance of these reports and how to write them. If you have any question, please leave a comment below. Thanks for watching.